Hello everyone, my name is Shroomraver, and today I'll be bringing you the Week 7 team analysis for Evelyn and Herdier Bremen in, as I say, Week 7 of Division 1, Season 2 of the PPL, the Pokemon Premier League. Yes, indeed. Now, this week, Evelyn is due to play RTK and the Portland Timburrs. Very difficult game. RTK is excellent in this format. So far, he has only lost one game. So this is always going to be a very tough matchup. He's also drafted a very, very powerful team with a lot of threats and a lot of decent bulk there as well. So, both of our coaches, by the way, entered the transfer window at the end of Week 6. Evelyn, she dropped Horlucha in order to pick up Snorlax. RTK dropped Metagross in order to pick up Scrafty. Now, Snorlax is not going to be making an appearance this week for Evelyn. So, let's take a look at the team Evelyn is deciding to bring. A few notes first off. She's decided not to bring any hazards or hazard control, which is very interesting. No hazards on this team because she said she likes the idea of RTK wasting a moveset on Latios with Defog. She also hasn't brought any hazard control because that's the best way to play, her words. I think that's a very interesting decision. I also think it's actually pretty much a good decision. Also, especially put with the kind of playstyle she's going to be going with this week. No hazards, quite a good decision, I think. RTK has a very good potential defogger in the form of Latios. He also has two of the best spinners in the format, in the form of Hitmontop and Excadrill, and Evelyn does not have any ghosts to spin block, so he can bring a lot of nice hazard removal and use it very effectively. So why have hazards when your opponent has very good hazard control and you can just try and hit things hard when he would want to maybe spin or defog? No hazard control on Evelyn's side either. Another fairly good decision, I think. RTK with really only the one Stealth Rock user now in the form of Excadrill. I don't believe he has spikes or toxic spikes on his team at this point, so he only has the one form of hazards, which is rocks on Excadrill. So I think the decision not to really focus on hazards at all from Evelyn is a good one. Now, she mentioned that she doesn't really have switch-ins for anything on RTK's team, which is a fair point. He's got a lot of sort of powerful nuking mons going on his roster, so she decided not to bother trying to have switch-ins and instead has gone full offense. So, let's take a look at the team in detail. First up, we have Truthpard the Lipard. We've got a Life Orb Adamant Lipard here, 12 EVs in HP, max attack, 16 special defense and 228 in speed. Moves of choice are going to be Sucker Punch, Pursuit, Play Rough and Gunk Shot with the ability Limber. Now, this is mostly an offensive spread to outspeed and hit things really hard. She's got a nice HP investment in order to sort of get the proper Life Orb number and live as many hits as possible with that. Idea of this, kind of switch into a Latios maybe if it's going for Psyshock and try and Pursuit Trap it. It's also got Sucker Punch for those mind games. The other two moves, Play Rough and Gunk Shot, they can really hurt RTK's offensive stuff. Gunk Shot, really nice to be hitting that Sylveon, which can be a massive problem. Play Rough, that's good for the two Dragons, Latios and Goodra. It will also hit the new Scrafty and the Hitmontop. Scrafty was brought in by RTK this week, so I think Play Rough on a Lipard who normally Scrafty would not mind going up against, that's a very nice decision indeed. Limber, of course, better in this instance than Prankster. This particular Lipard with a full offensive set does not have any need for Prankster, so, you know, why not stop it getting paralysed if you can? He does have a Rotom Heat on his team. Those things like to pass around T-Wave if they can, and if that's the status he is going to be running, Lipard's going to be very nice to try and deal with it. So, second mon on Evelyn's team is going to be Rise Dumb, the Darmanitan, and we are going full nuke this week with a Choice Band set, Jolly Nature, 52 in HP, max attack, 204 speed, with moves Flare Blitz, Rock Slide, Earthquake, and U-Turn. Choice Band is just power. Banded Darmanitan hurts a lot of things. We've got enough speed here to outspeed an Oko Excadrill outside of the sand, and basically kind of standard moves going on. U-Turn, of course, very nice for that initiative gaining. Flare Blitz from a banded Darmanitan, that's hurting things. It really is. The only real switching he's going to want to have to this is that Milotic, because it's very, very powerful defensively, can run a very nice defensive set and try and wall out Darmanitan as much as possible. Rotom Heat is another one, but we do have the Rock Slide on Darmanitan to try and deal with that a little bit better. So Darm looking to put the hurt on a lot of RTK's team. Speaking of putting the hurt on things, we have the third member of the team. That is going to be Feraligatr. That nickname v.ht/gator. Follow that link. It is super fun times. We like it. We got our Animate Life Orb set here with the Sheer Force, 140 EVs in HP, max attack and 116 speed. We've got Waterfall, Ice Punch, Rock Slide and Dragon Dance on there. The coverage once again is to hit as much of RTK's team as possible. Gator with enough speed to sort of do what it can. Dragon Dance is its only way reliably of increasing speed. I think it gets agility, but Dragon Dance is generally the preferred idea to go there if you want to increase speed and attack at the same time. You know, Life Orb, Sheer Force, Gator does what it does. Waterfall, Ice Punch and Rock Slide, that's just good coverage for a lot of RTK's stuff. If Gator can get up a couple of Dragon Dances, looking in a really good position to try and deal some big damage to the team. As Evelyn has mentioned, she's going full offense here, because that seems to be the way of dealing with RTK, just hit things as hard as possible, as often as possible, and yeah, see where we go from there. So, fourth member of the team is going to be Soloras the Roserade. We've got a Timid Choice Scarf set today. 8 EVs in defense, max special attack, 248 in speed. Moves are going to be Giga Drain, Sludge Bomb, Dazzling Gleam, and Hidden Power Rock. This is meant to be a fairly effective revenge killer with the Scarf. Everything is pretty standard on this. Giga, Sludge, and Dazzling Gleam, you know, they do what they do. Dazzling Gleam, very nice for those, again, those two dragons on RTK's team, and the new Scrafty. Hidden Power Rock, more rock offense on Evelyn's team, clearly really looking to cause as much damage as possible to the Rotom Heat, which can be a problem, you know. Rotom's a tricksy little thing, it can do a lot of things. And having a nice amount of rock offense is going to really help against that. And yeah, pretty much not much more to say on that. As Evelyn said, she's noticing pretty much everything is fairly standard with those four, you know, they do what they do. And they do it pretty well. We've got a lot of offense going on here. So, fifth member of the team, we're going to have Majin Buu the Musharna with the leftovers Modest Nature, max HP, 4 in defense, and max special attack. We've got Shadow Ball, Dazzling Gleam, Healing Wish, and Trick Room. Evelyn has used Musharna very effectively as a support mon for other mons to sort of set up and pass into them, as it were. We've seen her passing stat boosts, now we're going to see her passing some other things to help out as well. Mainly Wish support for the next mon on the team, that being of course Trick Room and Healing Wish. Max special attack because who even needs defense, really, is what she's saying here. No stab because not really needed too much. Psychic does not hit too many things on RTK's team very hard. You're only really looking at the Hitmontop for taking Psychic type hits. And when she can run Dazzling Gleam for coverage against the dragons, might as well use that against the Hitmontop as well while you're there. Shadow Ball, that's decent coverage for the things that Fairy type moves can't hit against RTK. You're looking at the likes of Excadrill, who would be taking a Psychic type move anyway. Rotom Heat doesn't mind the Dazzling Gleam, but a Shadow Ball hopefully will do some nice chip damage to that. So yeah, Musharna there to try and support the next mon that we're going to talk about, but it can hit fairly hard off its own back as well. So, who is that last mon we've been sort of teasing you with? Well, it's going to be Bahamut the Druddigon. We've got the third Life Orb user on the team, another Sheer Force set here. We've got 252 EVs in HP, 252 in attack, 4 special defense, with a brave nature and minimal speed. Moves of choice are going to be Dragon Claw, Iron Head, Thunder Punch and Rock Slide. Now, Druddigon is going to be Evelyn's Trick Room sweeper. It cannot be outslowed in Trick Room, even with a dedicated set on RTK side. I believe Druddigon is the slowest thing going in this game. And it has the coverage to check pretty much all of RTK's offensive threats. Dragon Claw, that's going to of course be hitting the likes of Latios and Gudra. Ironhead, very nice to hit the Sylveon for super effective damage. Thunder Punch is going to be useful against the Milotic, and Rock Slide, of course, for the ever-present Rotom Heat, which otherwise could be nasty, looking to cause some burns if, again, that's the status that RTK is going to be running with. And you know, those moves can hit most of the rest of RTK's team, at least neutrally. The only thing that isn't going to be caused undue problems by this Bahamut is going to be the Excadrill, but with any luck, Evelyn's going to have stuff for that Excadrill. You know, the likes of Darmanitan, the likes of Gator, even Roserade if the Excadrill's taken prior damage. Those hopefully will be able to deal with the Excadrill fairly effectively, hopefully before Musharna is able to be setting up that Trick Room for Druddigon to try and do some work. So, that is going to be the team that we are running with for Evelyn this week. Just to go over them really quickly again, we have offensive Lipod, offensive Darm, offensive Gator, offensive Roserade, semi-offensive Musharna, and Trick Room, offensive Druddigon. We have gone full offense this week. Now, that's a very interesting tactic, you know. We've seen Evelyn has liked to be using Baton Pass a lot, passing boost into other things, taking hits with those boost passes. But this week, it's a different kettle of fish altogether. You know, RTK is a very different beast. He is a very powerful coach in this league. It's going to be important just to hit him as hard as possible, as fast as possible. So, is it going to work? Well, that is a question for another day. Look out for the battle. That will hopefully be going up sort of within the next couple of days after this video is uploaded. And yeah, we just, I guess, have to wait until then to see exactly how this team will do. So, thank you all very much for watching this team builder analysis. Thank you to Evelyn for having me on the channel. It has been a pleasure. I will also be narrating the battle, which, as I say, should be going up in the next couple of days. But that is going to be it from me today. Thank you all very much for watching, and with that, I will see you all in another video. Laters.